Hi there, my name's Cathi Barker from Software Solutions. We're looking at Microsoft Outlook and we're looking at people or contacts. What I've got chosen on the left-hand side of my navigation options is the people button. And what I'm viewing in my people are the business cards. So that's the view I've chosen for. So if you have got people chosen, your list will look like this. But if you've got business card, it'll look like this. All right. Now, what I want to do is look at creating a new contact again. And some people take contacts really seriously and keep a lot of information about contacts in their Outlook. So I'm going to create a new contact that is somebody outside my organization. What I want to draw attention to is you can not only keep general details, which includes things like their company and their job title and their email addresses and business details, but you can also keep detailed details. If I click the details button up here, I can keep information such as what department they belong to, what their manager's name is, what their assistant's name is, their office, their profession, their nickname. I can even keep the name of their spouse or partner and their birthday or their anniversary. So you can keep quite detailed information about contacts in this details button. But I'm going to go back to general and just have a look at the general information. Now let me just close this new contact because I don't intend on using it, and let me double click my contact, for example. Okay, so in here I can see general information about my contacts. Now if I click the map it button, for example, that will actually give me directions and a map to this particular address. And so this particular address will appear in this Microsoft Bing, and it will show me and give me directions and contact information to get to this particular company. So Map It is quite a good feature as well, especially also if you have to charge for travel, it'll give you kilometers and you'll be able to work out the kilometer charge to visit that client, for example. So Map It, I really like that feature. The other thing we talked about in an earlier video is you can actually attach a picture to a person and you can keep notes about a person. But you can also attach files. For example, if I went to insert, I could attach a file, and any sort of relevant file that was perhaps related to that person I could attach. So lots of information that you can keep on a person, and I'm just going to close that. All right. Now, your contacts will grow pretty quickly, and so some people like to organize contacts into various folders. If you want to, you can right-click the contacts folder and make a new folder. So maybe I'll just call this the team. And if I go OK, I've created a new folder called the team. Now, if I want to move people into that folder, I simply drag them. So I'm dragging SSPC7 and I'm dropping it on the team. And they've disappeared from contacts. If I go to the team, there's SSPC7 and I'm seeing it in a people view. So I might change that to a business card. Now, if I needed SSPC7 to appear not only in the team, but also in the contacts, you could do a control drag and duplicate and put them into both the contacts folder and the team folder. The only downside with that is now you've got two cards that you have to keep up to date. So if they ring you and say, look, we've changed my phone number, you would have to go into here and change their phone number. And you'd also have to go into the copy you had in contacts and change the phone number there. That's an argument, instead of having somebody residing in two contact folders, to perhaps create a contact group. And that way they can reside in the contacts folder, plus they can be a member of a number of groups. You just update them in the contacts folder, and those changes distribute and infiltrate those various groups and keep them up to date. That would be a better approach. So to delete this contact, I'm going to click on here and hit the delete button. That's how you delete a contact. Of course, that will then make it go to the deleted items folder. How do you let me delete them? If I want to retrieve them back, then I need to go to my folders view. If I go to my folders view, I'm able to see my deleted items, and I'm able to see that particular item has been deleted. It's not showing in here. Typically it would be in here and you'd be able to drag it back out again. But I'm going to go back to people. Okay. So create folders if you want to, and move people just by dragging them into that folder and organize them into various folders. Though I do think that probably contact groups is a better approach than creating folders. Now, the other thing we need to do is be able to find somebody quickly if this list starts growing. When I'm in the business card view, you can sort of see an alphabetical listing here. So I can actually go to S's and I'll see just those that begin with S. Or I can go to M and just see those that are M. I don't have enough cards for that to work properly, but that's what that would do. But if you did have a huge list and you wanted to search for somebody, you've got a search box up here. And if I then say that I want to search for Mary and press enter, then it's searching for Mary and it's found one contact with the name Mary. And then if I hit this X here, I can clear my search and I go back to seeing everybody. So if you need to search, just use the search box at the top there. If I want to get rid of this contacts folder because I find I don't need it, we can go to the folder option here and we could delete that folder, but we can just as quickly right click and delete that folder as well. And so you don't have to keep that. Okay. So that's it with people. People or contacts, depending on where you're viewing it. They're called people here when I go to my navigation options. But when I go to my folders view and look at the folders, they're called contacts. So a little bit of inconsistency, but they mean the same thing. We can create new people by hitting the new contact. We can create new groups by hitting this button here. We can also go to an email and drag an email to the people option, and we can create a new contact that way. Close that. We can view our contacts in a variety of ways using these view options here. And also if we rest on this button, we can dock on the right hand side our favorites, and I can add more to my favorites just by right clicking and adding to my favorites. You have to be in people view. There you go. If you're in business card view and you right click, you can't add someone to your favorites. But if you go to people view and you right click somebody, you can add them to your favorites. When you add them to your favorites, they appear in this panel here. You can also go to your inbox, for example, and say you want to see your favorites. So in your inbox, you would go view, to do bar, and say I want to see my people. And so that makes your favorites always appear on the right hand side, makes it nice and quick and easy to make contact with anybody who's your favorite. I hope you've enjoyed that. Come back for the next video and we're going to examine emailing in great depth.